Aaron Flowers' commitment setting to come on April 7th, there's a lot of questions about what the Oklahoma Sooners are going to do at the safety position here in the 2024 class, as it looks like Aaron Flowers is going to end up committing to the USC Trojans, Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch, and those boys out west. So the question is, with potentially the number one or number two target on Oklahoma's board at the safety position, potentially with all indications looking to go elsewhere, where are they going to turn? And that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you all are thinking down in the comments below. What safeties do you think the Oklahoma Sooners are going to take in the 2024 class? And listen, guys, if you're not subscribed and I'm showing up in your feed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to continue to show up regardless. And it really just tells me that you guys like my content. You want me to bring more, and it really helps me out. I think about 69% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. So just hit that button. It's real easy, and let's jump into it. So Aaron Flowers, the four-star safety, the 133rd ranked player overall in the class of 2024, is set to commit on April 7th. And all indications point to the USC Trojans are going to win this one, which, if you're an Oklahoma fan, it sucks, because in your first real head-to-head recruiting battle with Lincoln Riley, you're losing it. And I'm not going to count some of those 2023 guys that Oklahoma lost, like Malachi Nelson or Branch or some of those guys where Oklahoma had previously held the commitments, and then they end up going to USC after Lincoln Riley left. I'm not going to count those guys because you really didn't have a shot once Lincoln Riley left. So it's not like you're really in a recruiting battle there. So the question is, where are the Sooners going to go? And I think one of the obvious and easiest answers is a guy that is currently crystal balled by Steve Wiltfong to land with the Sooners out of Lewisville, Texas. The 5'10", 6 foot, whatever you guys want to classify him as, 165-pound safety, Jaden Hardy. Jaden Hardy is a guy, he's 159 ranked in the composite. He's a guy that competes in track and field. He's got that speed. His dad was a former Tennessee Volunteer and NFL linebacker. He has been to the Miami Hurricanes. He's been to Texas A&M. He's got elite offers across the board. I think it's like 24 offers. And statistically, the guy over 3 seasons has 127 tackles, 12 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 3 interceptions, and 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. So Jaden Hardy for the Oklahoma Sooners would be a great option. And you're probably looking at Jaden Hardy being the number 1 option for the Oklahoma Sooners. But the question is, what happened to a guy named Xavier Filsaime, who is from McKinney, Texas? And if you guys have paid attention, you've recently seen crystal balls from Parker Thune and Blake Alderman go to the Florida Gators. Xavier Filsaime was a guy where Oklahoma Sooner fans, and I would think Jay Valai and the staff even really felt really good about their position. But ultimately, as Xavier started to really get offers from other schools, now holding 33 offers, which, by the way, he's the number 44 ranked player in the country. So, yeah, he's going to get those kind of offers. Seems like that lead that maybe Oklahoma might have had really started to dwindle. And so you look at Xavier Filsaime, a guy who has speed. He ran a 10.52 100 meter. Potentially might not be an Oklahoma Sooner, and probably will end up being a Gator when it's all said and done. But who is some other guys that Oklahoma could potentially land outside of Jaden Hardy? Well, an obvious answer is Michael Patterson McDonald, the kid out of Westmore High School here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 5'11", 175-pound safety, being recruited by Todd Bates right now. And point being, right, his best friend is David Stone. And it makes sense that since his best friend has a relationship with David Stone, you'd want that same recruiter recruiting a guy like Michael Patterson McDonald to Oklahoma. But you can imagine Brandon Hall and Jay Valai, they are definitely going to have their say in this commitment as well. And they will definitely be putting in some work. But Todd Bates will be listed as the primary recruiter here. Michael Patterson in one season had 108 tackles, 8 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions. So he's experienced. He's a guy that, well, if he commits to the Oklahoma Sooners, yeah, right now he's not ranked in the composite and he's not ranked in the 247 rankings, but that's going to change. By the end of his senior season, especially if he puts up strong numbers once again, Michael is a guy that could be a 4-star and a strong 4-star at that. But you're starting to hear of some other names that maybe you hadn't heard of before. Maybe like a Marquise Gallegos. I hope I said that right. The 6'1", 175-pound safety out of West Hills, California. A guy that, I think a lot of people really expected the race to come down between USC, Oregon, UCLA, and Ohio State, where he had been to USC 4 times, Oregon twice, UCLA twice, and Ohio State twice. And if you're the Oklahoma Sooners and you're trying to vie for a visit here, again, I think the Oklahoma Sooners are going to be just fine because, well, they're probably still going to go out there and recruit a guy like Aaron Flowers, even though he's going to commit somewhere else. They're going to try to flip him because they really like him. And they might try to get back in that race for Xavier Filsaime if it's still there, if that door is still open. And when it's Brandon Hall and Jay Valai, I'm probably not going to count them out, especially after what they've been able to do the past 2 seasons and landing guys that I think a lot of Oklahoma Sooner fans did not expect him to land, most notably Gentry Williams and Peyton Bowen. But we can get to that in another day. So Marquise is a great option. He is. He's got height. Puts on maybe a smidge more on the weight side. This could be a great option for the Oklahoma Sooners. But being from the West Coast, it's going to be a little bit harder of a battle. And so looking at some of the other offers that have been thrown out there, of course, we can talk about KJ Bolden, a top 5 player in the country. But again, as we have said multiple times here on the show, between Georgia, Ohio State, and Clemson, and I mentioned those 3 alone because he's got an official visit set to Ohio State. I believe he'll commit to Clemson, but he's been to Georgia 10 times. So between those 3 schools, he's been on a total of 19 visits to those 3 schools. That's a lot. And if you're the Oklahoma Sooners competing for a kid in Buford, Georgia, who is, let's see here, 40 miles away from the Georgia Bulldogs and 79 miles away from Clemson, it's going to be an uphill battle. Now, it is important to note, KJ Bolden has been on campus twice since this new staff has came in. March of 22, July of 22. So it'll be interesting to see if the Oklahoma Sooners, if they can get a official visit here, maybe another unofficial, maybe you start to look at this as a serious consideration on the recruiting trail. As of right now, you're on the outside looking in, and it's a far outside. But as we've seen with this staff, anything can change. Just don't give your fans, just don't give your hopes up here on this one because it's probably not going to happen, but it's something we have to talk about. Additionally, you've seen Oklahoma throw out other offers to guys like Zaquan Patterson, who's a top 100 player in the country, Jordan Johnson Rubel from IMG Academy. I don't think the Oklahoma Sooners are in this one. I think this one's going to come down between Ohio State and Texas, but we'll have to keep more eyes peeled on that one. And then you've got guys like that aren't ranked, again, farther down in the rankings. Farouk, who's the number 549th player in the country. But then you've got Isaiah Thomas out of Clearwater, Florida, who is currently unranked. So the Oklahoma Sooners have options at the safety position. And it's not necessarily a position that I think is do or die because, yeah, you're going to lose Billy Bowman in this class, but you still have guys that are corners and that are still on the team, and you guys have safeties that are on the team. And really, the Oklahoma Sooners have been able to recruit guys that can play both corner and safety. So you have Robert Spears-Jennings, you have Peyton Bowen, you have Makari Vickers. You're going to be fine if you're the Oklahoma Sooners at the safety position. You don't have to go out there and land just a 5-star stud or a top 100 player. You can grab a guy like Jaden Hardy. You can grab a guy like Idris Farouk or a Michael Patterson McDonald and really try to develop them and turn them into a great player. And that's something that the staff has been really good at. Brent Venables is really good at identifying talent, and I am not worried, so I don't think you should be worried. But, guys, go ahead and jump down in the comments below and let me know what you all think. What do they need to take at the safety position? Who are they going to grab? And then additionally, if you guys haven't already, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button, guys. Tell me what you guys like about the show. Tell me what you